mediator Joy Barton is going to talk to us about mental health issues for lawyers.
Not quite there yet. So when you have too much anxiety, you may drink too much alcohol or take too many drugs, and if you do, you put everything at risk. Lawyers, okay, now go to the next one. Lawyers are twice as likely as the general public to abuse alcohol. Go to the next one, thank you. About 20% of lawyers abuse drugs. 25% of lawyers facing disciplinary action are found to be abusing drugs or alcohol and have a mental disorder such as depression. Go back. Thank you. A quarter of families have alcohol-related problems, and a third of marriage failures are alcohol-related. 41% of fatal car accidents involve alcohol. So why are you working your butt off to make money and then putting it at risk if you hurt someone in a car accident or commit malpractice or end up alone? So my tip is you can do something better than drinking too much or taking drugs to get you to the next day. Getting sober is a personal journey. It's not what I'm here to talk about. But I can talk to you about wellness, because wellness has a lot to do with controlling anxiety. So whether or not you're sober today, you can achieve wellness. Here are 5 things you can do right away. And we are missing a slide. Okay, this slide that you're supposed to be seeing has 5 graphics on it. One of them is a beautiful hammock by the ocean. Imagine that. So, tip 1, relax by getting away, either really or virtually. Yeah, that's the one. That's the slide. Okay. Really or virtually get away, spend some time away from work. The next graphic on there was a hobbyist who was doing something with stamps. Just picture that one. So, hobbies and pastimes. What did you do before law school? What did you enjoy that you gave up to be a lawyer? I have a book about divorcing a narcissist, and one tip is to undo all the changes you made to yourself to be with that narcissist. The monster that is stress is a narcissist. It lacks empathy, it fools you into thinking it's superior to not being anxious, and it expects to have all your time and attention. Narcissists, well known, attract people with borderline personality disorder. Borderlines fear disengagement and abandonment. For so many lawyers, they are their business and their business is them. Don't be married to the narcissist. Go back and do the things you liked and find new things to like. Another part of the graphic was a little guy on an exercise cycle. You can all picture that one. Exercise, it's absolutely all important. This raises the bar between where you start and where you start to feel completely overstressed. So if it takes this much pressure to push you over the edge, if you exercise regularly, that bar will be up here. You will be able to experience this much pressure before you feel overwhelmed. Meditation. So I had a person, doing the typical meditation pose. Look, I used to think meditation was all about crystals and incense. Okay, but I've downloaded a couple of apps to my phone. Meditation lets me practice being fully in the present instead of constantly being in the future, where all the problems need to be solved and all the anxiety is. Counseling. So I had a person on, sitting with their counselor across from them. You can picture that one. Look, in the past are the days when the bar held it against you. Now people think of counseling or therapy as being proactive. It's not psychoanalysis. You don't have to tell all your secrets. It's just practical guidance for finding your way out of a behavioral or thinking problem. So the next speaker is going to touch on another hot tip. I'm not even going to clue you in. It's another great one. And then we're going to go on to the next slide. Okay. The Florida Lawyers Assistance Program can start you on a path to saving yourself and your law practice. It's confidential. There's their number. And they're in Fort Lauderdale, not in Tallahassee. And my thanks today to Lawyers Assistance and Wisdom Consulting for some of the slides and materials. Thank you.